Good morning, my dear friends. It's 11 a.m. and I'm heading to my painting class. It's going to be an amazing and busy week, and I really want to share all the wonderful moments with you, so let's get started. I'm finishing up the girl with mimosa from one of the previous videos. Today is my last day with this model, but there's still a lot to do, so I'll be finishing it over the weekend. It actually happens very often because we have limited hours for each model. It's just usually around 30 hours for one model, so that's why we have to work extra to get everything done, because the results should look like we had all the time in the world if you don't want to lose your scholarship. During the short break before the next painting class, I went to visit my friend from Vietnam and see what he and his group mates are doing. I'm checking that there are no professors nearby, so yes, everything is clear and I can come. So he's from the church workshop, and their professor likes to give them a change of scenery and send them to paint, in different parts of the academy, so their works have different backgrounds. It's not just like a colorful fabric, and I think it's actually pretty great. And I went back to work on my painting. I'm adding some more glazings to unite her long sleeve. And the guys nearby are painting very beautiful girl with a sgraffito. And they're also finishing their paintings. I really like the work of one of my friends, like the colors he used and technique. And I also spent some time today finishing the vase with mimosa. It's such a beautiful piece of all this setting. Had a lot of fun painting mimosa. I think I told this 1,000 times during this work, but it was just so beautiful. And this is what we have at the end of the session. There's still a lot of work to do, but I think I like the result even now. It was such a pleasure to paint this piece. Before the drawing class, my friend and I went to the cafeteria to grab a snack. And on my way back, I unexpectedly found a secret room, like in Harry Potter. Okay, actually behind these doors there are graduates' creative workshops, and it's always closed, but today someone left the door open. Just for me, I guess. And I returned to drawing class, where we continue drawing girls in historical costumes. Only 4th year students draw them, because the 3rd and 5th year students have different assignments in the curriculum. Like they're here, they're just working in other parts of our workshop. As you can see, everyone works with different drawing materials, so here we have freedom to choose. I love sepia, for example. And I wanted to remind you that we have a wonderful platform with educational resources, collections of various unique albums of drawings and paintings, video demonstrations and tutorials. They're all very useful, and I think this album is my favorite because it contains the rarest and the highest quality drawings of a great master of the past. These are my photographs of the originals in a high quality, so it will be very useful for copying, studying the features of the master's style, and developing your sense of line and shading. So I highly recommend checking it out. The link is under the video, and I wish you a pleasant studying time. Good morning again. I'm preparing a project for the Russian art history class. Our professor asked us to choose any artist from the period we are working with now and prepare a presentation. So I was really looking forward to getting to 20th century art, so I could finally make a project about my favorite artist, Vladimir Weisberg. I think one of the biggest benefits of this project activity is seeing the real person behind the artwork. For me, his bright works always seemed the embodiment of harmony, and I assumed that the person who created them was very calm. It turned out to be completely different. He was a severely mentally ill man with a serious diagnosis, He even had a tendency to self-destruction, and after discovering this information, I was confused how someone with such a troubled mind could create such stunningly harmonious, bright and peaceful works. I posted his work somewhere in our Telegram channel if you want to take a closer look, or you can just Google it. I just highly recommend looking at his work if you haven't yet. They're stunning. And it's time for me to go to the academy, so I'll continue working later in the evening. Today I'm continuing to work on a blue painting. I think my favorite thing to paint here was her eyes, because this model has a very interesting appearance and energy, and the portrait turned out psychological. I'm very happy when I can convey more than just the form, when the work is filled with color and, essence. My groupmates nearby are continuing to paint the second model. I really like how the paintings turn out. I even regret not being able to paint two models at the same time. So here's what I managed to do today, and after painting I went to my friend's Diploma studio. I'm really interested in watching how the work on graduation paintings is progressing, because in a year I'll have to go through the same process. I love this girl's method of working, like how she creates a tonal layer and then the figures gradually become more present. And this is my friend. She looks very tired because they work a lot this year, and here's her diploma project. And before leaving, we accidentally stumbled upon someone's old diploma. It felt like finding a rare shell on the sand. It's so wonderful that people have such a beautiful sense of the material and color. I'm very impressed. And then I went to my favorite ceramics market to buy a birthday present for my friend. They happened every couple of months in Moscow and St. Petersburg, and I love them so much. They're always a huge source of inspiration. And besides ceramics, there are also artists from other fields. I adore whimsical handmade jewelry. This girl makes tile jewelry and I want them all. I have a beautiful ring from her and I love it so much. And dogs are allowed on this market, and this is just my personal heaven. I met this adorable pit bull. Just look at those huge kind eyes. And then while I was walking, I saw a huge wolf, and of course I went to pet him too. So I bought gifts for my friend, but my second goal was to finally buy myself the earrings I've been dreaming about for a year, but I couldn't decide on a color. So a friend of a friend makes them. I'm so proud I know one of the artists on this super cool market. So can you guess the color I ended up choosing? I choose green and I'm absolutely in love with these earrings. Sorry, but I really need to show it to you like from every angle so you can share this joy with me. They're just stunning. I don't know, I choose green because it feels so fresh and spring-like to me, and of course it reminds me of a beautiful glass at the seaside, so I'm incredibly happy. I came in Saturday morning to work on my yellow painting. The academy is very empty and cozy on Saturdays, like there is almost no students in the room and no models either. Everything is very quiet and peaceful. I'm going to my friend's birthday party that evening, which makes it a bit easier to work on my day off. Our head professor gave me a couple of tips on areas I should work on. I think I'll need a few more sessions to finish this painting, but we're almost there. I also painted a little of a blue vase from life. Today I'm working only with a fan brush to make the brush strokes look lively. Here's what it looks like at the end of the session. I'm happy with almost everything. I like the floor, this multicolored drops, but I don't like the shoes yet. They're too black and heavy. I'll make them much lighter. You can see the final version on my Instagram. Here they're like in a good stage. And in the evening I went to my friend's birthday party. It was a super sweet evening with the girls and a very playful cat. We decorated the room and he actively participated. The atmosphere was super cozy and warm. So my friend decided to have a women's conference themed party with a PowerPoint party, and each of the girls prepared a funny presentation. One of the girls gave her a boxing mask as a present because she had been doing Thai boxing for 2 years already. She's so cool. And it was such a warm and nice party, and the room is so beautiful, but unfortunately I have to leave because I need to finish the project till tomorrow. I'm struck by every quote from this artist, just listen. The canvas surface is preserved as a whole, an integral whole. It lacks dominant colors and therefore there is no break in the painter's structure. The complex development of values also gives rise to a more complex, diverse vibrational character of the paintry layer. From this infinitely finely crafted variability of paintry values, continuous movement is born on the canvas. This movement is akin in its quality to universal movement that dominates nature. But he had a crazy life story though, like he was diagnosed with schizophrenia when he was 18 years old, and he had a lot of problems with mental health during his life when he was a teenager and later when he was adult. It's honestly crazy really to see the person behind the paintings, because I was sure that these paintings are made by someone very chilled, very calm and wise man. And he was wise man, but at the same time he was never calm. He was very, like, a lot of things was going on in his mind. But yeah, life is interesting. So today is the day I have to submit my project. I'm a little nervous because I barely finished it, but fortunately in the end everything went great. Here is how my presentation looked like. I'm glad I did this work, and now I understand this artist on a truly deep level, not just visually. I really like the philosophy of his art, and his wise words about painting were wonderful revelations for me and allowed me to understand my own path better. And I'm heading to the train station because I'm going home to Moscow for a couple of days. Really excited. And at the end of the video, I'd like to thank everyone who supports me with kind words, everyone who supports me on Boosty, buying educational posts or making donations. Your kindness is wonderful and I really appreciate it. I hope to see you soon in new videos, so stay creative.